What's up, guys? What's up? I've made it barely in the nick of time. Like I was, no joke. Like literally walked in at 6 o'clock my time, 8 o'clock Eastern. Like, apologize, I'm a couple minutes late, guys. Um, it's been a freaking day. It's been a freaking weekend. So, on Friday, I hired a trainer for me to start working out and everything, and you guys know I bought a new motorcycle last week, and I lost the keys to the or excuse me, before that. So I let the battery die on the motorcycle. I don't know what happened there, guys, but I apologize. My computer like freaked out there for a second, and yeah, dude, I got my hair cut finally. I went for a cut yesterday. So finally, I don't look like a damn chia pet. It's still fucked up though, dude. Like I can't wait for it to grow out and for it to give me some stuff. But on Friday, like I was saying, on Friday I left the key in my bike and the battery died. Sat out there for like 2.5 hours waiting for roadside. Finally, one of my friends came out. I just popped the clutch and got it going like that. Then yesterday, so that day I was running late to come back to trade, and I left it like that. And then on Friday, on Friday, I don't know what I did, guys. Maybe you guys can remember me, the guys in my room, but I parked my bike and then I came and I ran back inside, and I was just so frantic about like everything that happened. I don't know what I did with my bike keys. Like I can't. I looked everywhere for them. I cleaned the whole house, did laundry and stuff, and I lost my damn motorcycle keys. And I didn't realize it until today. So it's been a fucking weekend, dude. I have my son today, and I'm worried about my keys. Sorry, I had to sneeze. I'm worried about my keys and everything, and like to get that going. And he's wanting to play and stuff, and it's just been one thing after another. So whatever. We're blessed. We're still blessed. We're blessed to be able to do the things that we do, guys. So I hope everyone's having a great weekend. I hope you guys are getting ready for 4th of July next weekend. Everyone's staying away from the coronavirus. Everyone is having a good time this weekend. So uh, I don't have too much planned as far as on the STOCKcast today. So if you guys want to do just like a Q&A and technical stuff, if you guys want to go over certain questions and stuff that you were studying over the weekend, I'm backed up on my DMs, guys. Like I see you guys messaging me on Twitter, on in the room, everything, dude. But bear with me. Like I said, on Sundays are the only time that I actually take away and I hang out with my kids. So I don't reply back right away. I try to, if I get a spare moment and I have my phone, I will. But like I said, everything's been kind of crazy this week. Yeah, I checked my pockets for my keys, checked everything for my keys, bro. Like I said, I did laundry. I did the all the laundry. I did everything, and I can't find them, dude. I think I may have set them on top. So I parked my car right next to the bike, and I may have put the keys like on top of the car and drove off, dude. Or I don't know. I don't know what I did with them, bro. Like I don't. It's not like I have a huge house either. You know what I mean? Like they can't. I would have walked into them somewhere already. So it's whatever, dude. Like so now I have to go out there and like I'm gonna take off the whole triple tree from my bike, and then I'm gonna get new ignition cylinders and all that, and that was an expense that I wasn't expecting. So no, I didn't leave it in the bike again, dude, because when I got off the bike and I was walking through the hall right here, like where the apartments are, I dropped it. I dropped the key. I remember vividly dropping it, and then I picked it up, and and I had my gloves and everything in my hand and everything, and I don't remember. So I remember coming in and just like throwing all my stuff down here at my desk, and that's it. Like I went through my bag that I had, and they're gone, dude. Like it's okay. Like now I'll make a spare and give it to one of my friends to keep, and then I'll put like one of those tile. I don't know if you guys know those tile things that help you find lost stuff. But maybe eventually I'll learn if once it gets expensive enough, I stop making stupid ass mistakes, bro. So, but onwards and upwards. Here it goes. Not gonna let it define my week here. So, do you guys got any questions? How was your guys' weekend? You guys do anything exciting over the weekend or anything like that? Are they really awesome? I've never used them, dude, but I'm really bad about my keys. And then, honestly, I think I lost some money the other day, dude. Like sometime throughout the week, I think I lost somewhere close to like $80 to $100. Because whenever you're wearing your gloves, like when you're writing, you can't feel with them really well. You know what I mean? And so I'm sticking my hand in my pocket to get stuff out, like my phone, to change the music or, stuff like that. And and so um, I think the money fell out my pocket, and obviously I couldn't hear dollars or whatever. But I went to count my money, and I think I'm about $80 to $100 short. And like I said, I'll keep on doing stupid shit until I finally fucking learn, dude. Like I'm really frustrated with myself. Um, I'm pretty, dude. I pretty tolerant of shit, bro. But like I hate when I make stupid mistakes like that, bro. So yeah, learning Fibonacci, bro. Fibonacci is really good to learn, bro. So even so Lucas numbers as well with the Fibonacci sequence. It's as much information as you can get. The thing that you don't want to do though is just to get like so much information to where you have over analysis paralysis. It's just good to have and know what it is, and then be able to incorporate it when you need to. You know what I mean? So it's not the end all be all. You know what I mean? Um, yeah, but let's go ahead and jump right in, guys. Just a couple announcements before we do though. I have the annual member thing that's going to be done tonight, so that the $150 or whatever, $149 for the annual is going to be done tonight. I'm kind of done because I'm getting tired of hearing myself say it and then posting it and stuff. I can imagine everyone else is. So that'll be done tonight, guys, if you want to take advantage of it. And then I know that we just got a new person a little bit ago, and then let me actually put at everyone here in the chat if they want to come and join up. Oh, there we go. James put it up there. So yeah, there's that, and then other than any other announcements or anything, I had the meeting for the merch yesterday. That went really well. There's a couple changes that I wanted to have made, just as far as quality changes. So. But other than that, we're gonna go ahead and go with it. I'll have everything uploaded sometime this week once I get a chance of everything, and then yeah. So if you guys are wanting merch, that'll be available. Other than that, I do appreciate all the love, guys. If you guys could leave me a like, comment, subscribe. We do this free every Sunday just to get ready for the trading week. There's no charge for doing this every Sunday. On Fridays, we go live and we trade live together on YouTube. If you want to come hang out and trade with us on Fridays, it's like being an honorary member of the room on Fridays. So we make a pre-market plan, little watch list, and then we trade together for the open first hour or two. Sometimes we get some special guests that drop in, and other people that add value to it. So you never know what's gonna happen. But let's look at some tickers here, guys. If you guys want to talk about anything in particular, go ahead and shout it out. No, bam. And I'm gonna turn off this tinting thing real quick, and then give me a second, dude, because my nose is like, my allergies are all fucked up. So I'm gonna get some tissue. 1 second. I'll be right back, guys. You know what's gonna happen, right? Is I'm gonna order some new key stuff for my bike, and then I'm gonna find the old ones, and they're gonna be worthless, dude. Like, I know it. I know that's what's gonna happen. Your Tesla, yeah, Tesla, bro. That's my best ticker in the world, bro. If you could afford to trade it, you make milk this thing every freaking day. Um, I'm trying to. 1 second, guys. I appreciate your patience. There we go. All right, so there's no tinting right here or whatever. Now this looks a lot better, a lot more vivid and stuff. I apologize. What do I think about Facebook? Learning fit. Would I ever want to start a hedge fund? I don't. So I think it would be cool to manage like a little fund, dude. Like to manage it to say, put it on the resume and say I did it. That's a really cool question. Um, how do I use the T3? Cool. We'll go over that as well. Um, but it's gotta be freaking stressful managing someone else's money. Like, I mean, I have a hard time managing my own money, right? You know what I mean? Like, I stress myself out managing my own money, but I can imagine, um, managing other people's money and getting bitched at or complained about, or the liabilities that come with that. Like, it's got to be way more stressful. So, and I'm by nature, I'm an empath, bro. So, like, if someone is upset, like, I feel that shit. Like, if someone is really freaking excited, I feel that shit too. So, for someone to be upset about something, I'm gonna be twice as hard on myself about it. So, um, it would be cool. It'd be cool to start a little thing, dude. We'll see what happens in the future. You have to have licenses in order to do it, and then you have to be sponsored to get a license. So, it's a process. So we'll see um, what the future holds, dude. So, um, let's go through one thing at a time here, guys. What do I think about Facebook since Steve was here first? Fib. I type fib instead of Facebook. I'm an idiot. Um, Stop loss and VWAP. Yeah, if you could talk about like or ask go into a little bit more detail about your question there, bro, and then we'll jump into it. Here on Facebook, dude. So we're kind of at this area where there's more volume that's being done. So you guys know I like to do this. I like to use the volume profile for my macro outlooks here. So if we put it here on Facebook, guys, we're going to get a big volume node right exactly where it is. And I could already tell that by the volume that was being done here in the past. So if I go out even further than that, you can see that that this is a high volume area where there was this previous resistance where it was all-time highs before. So, and that's kind of like where we're at right now. So we're getting into this, resistance level where it's trying to hold up at. So at the very most at 211, about 211 to 15 or so. That's where you would want it to hold if it doesn't get all the way down here towards 200. So the next stop would be 200 if it doesn't hold that level, and then maybe some sideways in the bounce up there on Facebook. So, but this was they got kicked in the nuts right here, guys. This is they're over here trending really strong, and then we got that news that came out about the advertisers kind of taking a strike towards Facebook on everything that's going on. So they're losing a lot of revenue on that strike where people aren't advertising and stuff like that. I think they said like Mark Zuckerberg lost $7 billion, or Facebook lost $7 billion in revenue because of it. So I mean that hurts. So if anything, we may see a little bit of a stall out here. This was a major reaction, so we may get a little bit of a stall out, little bounce, retracement, and then for it to maybe come back down to 200 and retest around that area again. So and it also depends on market sentiment. So I took a look here on the futures here, guys, and we opened up and gapped down here to this 298. Can't really see on my screen, like 298.30 something or something. 84. So and then it tried to go over 3,000, right? So it peaked its head over 3,000 just a little bit, but it's definitely having a hard time getting over 3,000 again, guys. So we'll see. I was telling my guys a little while ago that we may wake up to a totally different scenario in the morning where this is gapped up to 303, 305 or whatever, and we wake up to a really strong bounce here, but so far not so good. So if that's the case, and the market stays weak, obviously Facebook has a little bit more down to go down here towards that 200. So does that make sense? Awesome, guys. I appreciate everyone that's here, guys. It's nice hanging out with you guys on Sundays. I actually look forward to it. So let's see the next thing here. Facebook hedge fund. How do I use the T3? So let me show you this. So this was my OG setup, the way that I used to trade. So like way back in the day, before I started getting custom codes and I had help and stuff, I had these. This is the way I traded, guys. So I just had 3 EMAs. So I had the 8, 13, and 21 EMA. So the dotted one was 8. The blue one is 13, and then the purple one is 21. So if you notice, the 8, 13, and 21 are also Fibonacci numbers in the Fibonacci sequence as well. So the way that you would use these as retracements as well, whenever you would get a bounce. So like using this like on Facebook, you see how this came up? It actually retraced to the 21, and then it bounced back up. So you could use this to go back up for the bounces and retracements to add to your position and things like that. So and we could probably see if we go like on a 1 minute chart here, you could see you could use it as a retracement too on the smaller time frame where it respected them all this whole line down. So we had this dip, retracement, and then this darker purple one is the VWAP. So this is my A plus setup right here that I like to see at the open for the downside. So you have a weak open, this landslide down, and then you have a bounce, and usually it's to the VWAP, and you can't get over the VWAP. This is your, if you weren't fast enough to get in this area, this is your area to get in or to add to your trade, and then you're just chilling. So I mean, this is your entry right here at 230. You could stay in here to 222, and it respected underneath these EMAs the whole time. You see how it just followed alongside of them. So eventually what happened though was that this is way ugly. Like, to see, it's hard to see these lines in here. So it's hard to see these lines. So excuse me. So what I did instead was I had the T3 line that made here, and this is basically, yeah, bro. Yeah, we can review shop, bro. So this is the same thing that we're looking at, right? And basically what I did is I took that 8, 13, and 21 EMA and I averaged it into one line. So so then it's way easier to be able to see it, and then you don't have a bunch of lines all on your chart that are just ugly. So the other thing is the more indicators that you have in your chart, the slower that your chart's going to load, and it's going to actually calculate and whatnot. So what I did is I just made it one line, and then part of this, the way I used to trade was just on a simple EMA crossover type strategy. So whenever the price action, the 8 EMA would cross the 21, then that was my entry, and I would just, as long as it stayed above there, I would just go ahead and stay in, and then when it crossed below, that was my area to go ahead and get out. So so what I did was we paid in at red whenever the 8 would cross cross below the 21, and then whenever the 8 would cross above the 21 to the upside, it would paint green. So then it makes it really nice trigger line here, and it paints it really nice to show trend and for momentum in the direction that we're going. So if you start seeing, that the price action is, not respecting it, and it starts breaking it, then that's your out area to go ahead and just take profit and leave it alone. Does it make sense? So good question there, bro. All these indicators, if you're not a member, you get for free with your membership as well. So I don't make you pay for anything. We have like a library full of indicators. If you need something custom made, we can work on it as well. So, can I go over stop loss and VWAP? So I was telling you, Madison, if you could say that a little bit more, or are you saying that you should use 2% or 5% stop loss? To me, dude, like it doesn't. So I know that there's a lot. Everyone does this a little bit different, and I don't want to say that it's highly controversial or whatever. But you kind of got to find what works for you. Me personally, like I let my trades work a little bit more than maybe some other people will, because I'm that confident in my setups, and I know that they're back tested, that they work. So what I mean by that is that we're talking about this setup at the open, right? So this dip, this retracement to the VWAP. I know right here, as long as it stays under the VWAP, because of all the downward pressure right here, there's so much people that are in here short from the open, and even possibly the day prior, that there's too many sellers. There's no volume right here for this to push above the VWAP. If you look at the selling pressure compared to this buying pressure where I was trying to push up, there's none. So I know that this is going to be my setup here, and it's going to work as long as I'm I'm in the right mindset for me to take the trade, and I'm emotionally okay with it, and not over forcing it and waiting for my entry on it. Now, so in this instance, right, so my stop is going to be just right over the VWAP whenever this happens, because then all those bulls are going to go ahead and start piling in, and then start pushing it up whenever they see that it's breaking that VWAP, and it may actually continue to go and bounce up higher. So to answer your question as far as stop loss and how much you should actually risk and whatnot, I trade until my thesis is proven invalid. So, and what I mean by that is that, let's say this is my trade that we're talking about, right? So my thesis is that this is going to drop, pop up to the VWAP. It will not go over the VWAP and then continue to go further. So my stop is going to be right. So where my thesis is invalid then in this setup is right over the VWAP. And then if it continues to go ahead and push over the VWAP, right? So I'm not going to stay in the trade once it stays over the VWAP, right? And then with that being said, yeah, you may get a little bit of a wick up, whatever, like, it goes sideways, but you have to let it go ahead and work until your thesis isn't proven invalid, where it's like, absolutely, like I was wrong and I'm not going to go ahead and do it. At what percent do I scale out to start taking profit? So at the next relevant support or resistance level. So you have to always be taking profit to go ahead and pay yourself, right? So if we're looking here sideways, right? So let me actually go like this and make this a little bit bigger. One second. So in this one, actually, it was a pretty good hold. There's not any type of resistance or anything on it. But one was like the one on Tesla. If we're looking at Tesla from Friday, you could see where this little this dip was right here. But you basically want to go do it at the next relevant support or resistance level, depending on which way you're going. So we had this dip down, right? So if you're getting in this area, this is from this where the close was, and then your pre-market low, that's a good place to go ahead and start taking profit as well. So then on the next dip down, right? So the next dip down, you have this resistance here in this level, this or support. You're gonna resistance that's gonna turn into support, and then that's gonna be your next area that you're gonna go ahead and take profit. And you can see that it actually retraced there a couple the later on in the day. Does it make sense? What is a pink candle and dark blue candle on that chart? So on this one here, this is different. So this one is different. So on the blue ones are neutral. They're supposed to be neutral candles, or they'll show sentiment change. So you can see that this kind of triggered a little bit early here, but it was actually showing that that we may get a bounce and turn around the other way, and we did get a go around the other way. So then the pink candles here are oversold. So this almost so they're called MFI candles, and this signals where it's oversold, and that gives you an indication like to actually start looking for a place to take profit, to like what Michael was saying. So this actually indicates an area for you to actually start taking profit if you get confluence of some other indicators. So say like you have pink candles right here, and then you also have your Fibonacci line, right? And then you have like a daily support, then that's a good area for you to go ahead and take profit if it starts, holding it. So then it bounces. So these actually mean oversold. And then if you take a look at my green candles, you're probably not going to see them for the on here from Friday, because everything's sold on Friday. But let me see. There's like one. So you see this one right here, and then there's like two right here. Those are yeah, exactly. You see those like lime green ones? That's exactly what I was trying to point out, is that the lime green ones are overbought. And so whenever you're in a bullish trade, that's whenever your signals of confluence or signals of evidence, in order for you to start looking for you to take profit to get out. So here we go. So here's a couple of them right here on Square. And then also like Spotify, I think went pretty well. Yeah, Spotify. So if you look in this area, so these are all dark green, right? And then you got these lime green ones here at this top. And then so you have that confluence here with this fib line, the 50% fib line. That's two signals for you to get out and take profit. And then you get your MACD start crossing. That's your third one, and you would just take profit. Yes, sir. Great discussion, guys. I appreciate your engagement, guys. So can we go over Shopify? All right, cool, bro. So Shopify, bro, like I really like Shopify because I believe in what they are, and I think it's a pretty awesome company. But to trade this, right, as a trading ticker, it freaking sucks. These spreads on here could be dollars at a time, and they just crazy, dude. Like crazy. You can't trade this. So I don't recommend trading it. If you absolutely dead set and have your heart in setting it, then go ahead. But just make sure you are using maybe smaller size to mitigate some of your risks, to limit your exposure. But I just don't like it, bro. You can see right here, there's pretty good support at this 925, 930 level. And even with everything that was going on, towards the tail end of this week, yeah, we got little dips, right? We got little dips here at the open or whatever, but it recovered the second half of the day really nicely. It showed a lot of relative strength. So we'll see. We'll see how the market, does this week and continues, if it continues up. Obviously, the next stop would be 1,000 for it, 950 and then 1,000. So what do you think about Kanye West and GPS? Oh, that's pretty interesting that you brought that up, dude. You know what? To be honest, I'm not going to have an opinion really, bro. Like, as far as, like trading, I don't have an opinion on it in trading, bro. So I think, well, let me take that back. So as far as for the gap, I think their ticker is GAP. Oh, you got your thing all set up. Awesome. Mrs. Cooley in the house over here with, dude, she has the dopest setup, guys. I wish I could show you guys here on YouTube, but I don't know if she wants me to show her off in her Sunday tarantarans over here. Um, but she has the dopest setup. And she honestly, that whole family's fucking awesome. So she has like 450-inch TVs that she trades off of. But back to the Gap here, dude, and the Kanye whole thing, dude. I think the Gap has had like a huge divide, or like there's been like a huge gap between them and the consumer. Like they just haven't been. I mean, they haven't been resonating. I guess they don't with their niche audience, and so this is a good move on their part, bro. This is a good move on their part to get Kanye on, and he's probably one of the biggest hype people of our generation, dude. So what's the ticker for the Gap? GPS. Mrs. Cooley, you gotta show me like where my desk is gonna be when I go visit. Yeah, so I mean we got this nice gap up here from that news. GPS. Okay, yeah, dude. So that was a dumb question. Thank you guys. um, so GPS right here. Yeah, I mean we got a decent gap here, and then did you guys see the new shoes that Kanye rolled out? Um, so it's really good news, dude. Especially like with how cheap it is. If we could get a lot of the newer Robinhood traders jumping in on this, guys, that would be really good. The only thing that's makes me hesitant on it as well is just like with the second Corona wave, news and everything, fears of everything closing back down again. Retail's gonna suffer from it again. So, um, I think everyone should have a few tickers that they trade every day, Carlos. So I think everyone should have their bread and butter, right? So this is almost like your relationships, right? So you have your main chick that you're living with, and you have like your good every day with. But every once in a while, maybe you don't want ice cream, bro. You want some cheesecake for dessert. You could go hit something else on the side, whenever there's opportunity, bro. So in my opinion, dude, you should definitely have maybe one, two, three tickers that you're very, very familiar with, and the way that they move, and an understanding of how they move, and for you to always be able to make those trades. So for me, like you guys see my trades, I'm sure it's boring. I'm sure it's boring to a lot of you guys. You see it on Twitter. I trade Tesla, Amazon, and Netflix almost every day. But then when I see an opportunity, um, exactly, Tesla's my main chick right here, bro. So um, whenever there's opportunity somewhere else, though, like you could see me when I'm there, dude. I don't know. Maybe there's other people that agree with me, bro. But humans are not meant to be monogamous, bro. Not meant to be in a relationship your whole life. I mean, what like there has to be very, very few species compared to um, other species that are non-monogamous that are monogamous. Like what's one like penguins? That's the only one I could think of. Anyways, who would have thought we would have gone National Geographic on the STOCKcast this today, guys? Um, oh, so you haven't even moved yet? Oh, I thought you already moved. I was like, man, some 1942 in that heat would go good right about now. Awesome. So let me get to that, Armando. So that's a very good question, and I like the way that you worded it. So I think we're done here with GPS, guys. So like, just to reiterate my opinion and thoughts on it, if it matters anything here on it, I think it's a really good move on GPS to team up with Kanye. That was a really a lot of companies like them, like Sears, Macy's. They can't resonate with their clientele anymore. Like they don't know what to do, and for them to actually take that leap of faith in Kanye and get some of that hype in is really really good. So I think it's a good move. But if coronavirus starts affecting retail again, I know like here in New Mexico they stopped off. They stopped opening more stuff, like they stopped phase 2 and stuff. So if retail starts being prohibited again and things start shutting down again, it's going to put a dampener on our party here. But overall, good. It's something to keep in mind and keep on watch tomorrow, especially with some of these younger Robinhood traders and whatnot. All right, so then GPS. What was it? So we talked about trading the same stock every day, guys. I do, but so the thing is that trading the same stock every day, every stock is different, right? So there's different short float in it. There's different institutions that are actually in it, hedge funds that are trading it, different actual floats, market cap, everything. Everything the way that the business is ran. So every business, every ticker actually, trades a little bit different. So like I like Tesla because when it gets going, it'll make a pretty nice big move. You know what I mean? We've been getting $30-$40 moves on Tesla, throughout this last week. So with that being said, if you go and you trade something like Boeing, Boeing you generally is just grinds. Like it just grinds and it goes really really slow. And I mean that may be for someone else's personality, but I mean, I get so bored in those trades where it's moving slowly and, I just don't know what to do with my hands. And so if that's more your style, then great. That's more your style. So if not, then trade something else. But once you know that, how tickers react to different, to different price points and what would you say, like areas of interest and support and resistance. Some of them, just come up to it and then they'll actually respect it and move away. There's other ones that'll blow through them and spike and then go, pull back or, whatever. So if you could build that relationship with those tickers to know how they're going to react, then that's going to help you a lot better to be more successful in those tradings. So, and that's how, like in the room, I'm able to, with Netflix, Amazon, Tesla, I could say what's going to happen with them before it happens. And then people think I have a crystal ball, but I don't. It's just the experience of watching them over and over and over again. Break down LHX. I don't know what this is. What's LHX, bro? If you guys are going to want me to go over like tickers that are kind of unknown, give me like an entry, stop, and target point. And your thoughts on it as well, because I'm not here to spoon feed anyone, but we could definitely hang out and analyze together. You know what I mean? La Harms Technology. They got a big contract from the Army, it looks like, or the Air Force, it says. Wow, this chart is ugly, bro. Yeah, this chart is pretty ugly, dude. I mean, you would want it to stay above 160 right here, bro. You see these tail wicks down in this area and then also this dip right here. So you'd want it to stay above 160 if you want it to continue and bounce bullish. You would have thought that it would have bounced more on that contract news on Friday or Thursday whenever it came out. But it didn't really do too much. So I really don't have an opinion on this, dude, because I'm not real familiar with it. Honestly, it's just an ugly chart all the way around. I don't know where you got this, but I wouldn't. There's no setup here, in my opinion. I would just leave it alone. Would you say I have a trading style, or that in a strategy I teach my members, or that I just teach general stuff? So both. So both, I think you guys, the guys that are actually members, could say that, I do have, yeah, dude. So I don't mean to be rude or mean or anything about it. No disrespect. But this chart is ugly. Um, so no, we haven't gone through stuff for the week as of yet. So we're just kind of having Q&A, general discussion here. But yeah, so, I do have, some setups, some strategies that I like to use, and I teach those. Those are my bread and butter setups. But then as well, like I do teach general stuff. So a lot of the members that I have are really new. So a lot of them are really new to trading. And then once, as a general consensus, right? Like once our room gets to where we could get more advanced, and more advanced in things, maybe even coding more ThinkScript studies and doing some other stuff, then we'll get into some other more advanced setups and things like that that we're looking at. But we're not gonna. We gotta learn how to crawl before we run, right? How much do I don't know, dude. I don't make predictions like that. So that's anyone that says that it's gonna go up or down is a fucking liar, bro. They don't know shit. Um, our job as traders is to react to the price levels, dude. So as our whole thing and my whole thing in our room is to be money biased. So there, when I was coming up as a trader, there's either you're a bull or you're a bear. Like there's no in between. Um, Absolutely. Absolutely there, Armando. Let me go ahead and finish answering your question here, bro. So absolutely. So so I do teach my indicators and how to use them. And then I even, once you become a member, we set up a Zoom meeting and then we'll do some onboarding, what your expectations are of me. And if it's not a good fit, I'm not going to sit here and just, have you stay forever, a member or whatever, and, have you waste your time and money. Right. So, and I understand that it's, everyone, like I said, everyone trades a little bit different. And if my style is not for you, then, great. There's a bunch of different styles. My style and my strategy is only just one of the very many, successful strategies that are out there. There are tons, dude. There's tons of ways to trade the market. But the one thing that stays consistent in it is that your risk management on and discipline within it. So, for instance, like Miss Cooley, she's over here, writing me on the other side of the chat here in the room, and she trades exclusively like a 15-minute chart. And, she has one strategy that she trades over and over again. I don't even know what the bars are called, but I would never trade like that. You know what I mean? But she's successful in it. And, she's able to implement, little things, that I've said as well. But, absolutely. So to answer your question, I'm gonna go over, how my, how, when I built this set of indicators, I wanted to put enough in it to where you could use it in different ways, but not be overwhelming to where there's a bunch of lines all over the place. You have overanalysis paralysis, and you're just overwhelmed by like, okay, is this green? Is this red? Is this a fucking donkey flying in the sky? Dude, you don't want the more simplistic you can make it, the better that it's going to be. And so I got micro support and resistance, macro support and resistance, and then price action that we're able to go ahead and play off of as far as momentum. And then this puts everything in perspective in order for you to be able to use. If that makes sense, I hope that answers your question. Absolutely, dude. So you need to find a way to a way that resonates with you. So the thing I think that was really cool about me coming up too is that I'm a product of I'm a trader a lot like you guys, where I wasn't around before the internet, where I had to like be on the struggle bus and stuff. Like I learned from a lot of other mentors that are still around right now, and I basically took a bunch of what they do, and put it into my own strategy. So, if you want to scalp, we have strategies to be able to scalp. So, if you want to, take position trades, we could take position trades. You know what I mean? But the thing is to take all that and put it into one, and for you to, be successful at it, and go from there. So, like I have people in the room that are small cap players. I don't like playing options. We'll play small cap. So, we'll do that. But I get what you mean, dude, because you bounce around a lot, and then you just like you're overwhelmed, and you're like, well, I don't know exactly what to believe or what's right or up or down. But the trick is to, find what does work for you. And I believe that in my system, dude, like I feel like it's pretty easy, dude. Yeah, if you journal, right? So journaling is huge. If you guys haven't watched my video on YouTube about trader identity, that's I'm actually doing that part of my course. I'm writing my course right now, and I'm on that part on journaling. So maybe next week we should talk about journaling on the STOCKcast. That would be really good. No, dude. Good question about leap contracts. That's my next thing to start doing, bro. My next thing is to start doing calendar spreads with leaps. No, dude, it shouldn't be down. Someone just signed up a little while ago. Yeah, it's up, bro. You might have to clear your cache and cookies and stuff, bro. You might have to clear your cache and cookies because it was on a different server like a couple weeks ago. So, but there it is right there, bro. It's up there if you want to join. And like I said, if you don't find value in it, bro, like I'm pretty sure, like just in the indicators and things like that, you will find some value in it, dude. Like we'll get you going. I really take personally your success, bro. Everyone that needs help, I make time for them if they need help, and I pull up. We do Zooms, and we'll get the strategy going together, dude. So, like I said, if you don't find value in it, bro, then we could go over it. Yeah, see, there's Mr. Suhir. Welcome, bro. I saw your sign up, bro. I saw your DM. I said earlier I'm backed up on my DMs, dude. Today's my day that I hang out with my son. So usually on Sundays I don't reply back right away. So I take family time very serious, as you guys should. So every other time, bro, like I tell all my members, I could be balls deep in Beyonce, and you will get a DM back from me pretty quickly. So, okay, awesome, Armando. Yeah. So you guys are going a little bit quick here in the chat here, real quick. Someone said dolphins. I don't know what you mean by dolphins, though, bro, but pretty shitty football team if you're talking about football. Been married 33 years, and dude, that's if you're married for that long, bro, that's something to hold on to, man. That means that someone's willing to, work with you, because the person that you were 33 years ago is not the same person you are today, bro. And that's a lot of why me and my son's mother are not together, is that the person I was at 24 is not the person I am at 31 right now. So, it happens. How much do you think the SPY will go? Oh, so there's a Yovi. So how much the SPY will go up and down? Like I said, if someone tells you they know how much it's going to go up or down, they're a fucking liar. All we could do is lay out the areas of high interest, and then look to see the reactions at those. So like right now, if we go back to looking at the futures here, dude, the 297.50 is going to be a huge area, dude. So if you go and you look, you zoom out here, right here on this dip. So that's where this is going to be like our last line in the sand right here before we start going a lot deeper on the SPY. So we're going to have to hold around in this area. And that's your first area of interest that you want to keep at. So there's no guessing where it's going to get to. You're just looking at the relevant levels and then the reaction to it. And the thing is that like I'm learning a lot about this right now, as you know, my members are as well, as when you start using multiple time frames and multiple signals of evidence and confluence within the system, so you have more eyes on it at a certain level at the same time, that's going to be more relevant to your thesis working. So for instance, like we're looking at the ES right here, and then also like, the SPY, right? Oops, I put SPY like I'm Mexican, bro. SPY. I am Mexican, so I could say that. So guys, please don't sue me. Right. So same thing right here on the SPY, right? So the same level. You can see I already have my line right here. I have my line drawn. You can see where it acted as resistance here in the past. It acted as support. It validated it, and then now I'm just waiting, bro. I'm waiting to see how it reacts if it gets there tomorrow. I'm not going to predict. I'm not going to do anything. I'm just going to wait to see how it reacts. And that's what leads you to be profitable, is when you could trade without a bias and just look at the actual areas of interest without you making an inference on it, whether it should go up or it should go down, if that makes sense. Oh, that makes sense. And then you could also use other signals of confluence as well, like the Russell ETF. Is it RTY or RYT? RYT, right? Same thing here, guys. So you're looking to see if it comes down to the same level. If this all lines up at the same time and at the same place tomorrow, you have to see how it reacts there. If it reacts where it's going to hold, then fucking buy, dude. Buy on that dip and then get in on that bounce. If it breaks it, then start selling, or start buying puts, or, shorting the shit out of it. So I hope that makes sense, dude. And then it's the same thing for the Qs. Same thing for the Qs, guys. All right. Just going down the line. What time frame do I use? So generally, I use a 1 minute time frame. The reason being is because you want a micro and macro outlook on what you are doing. And so the candles in my time frame on my chart here are my micro indicator. And so this gives me like a really short time frame in order to be able to look at, right? So this kind of helps me get my sniper entries, my really good entries. Now, the reason I use the 1 minute, right, is to so then I can use my CCI down here. My CCI is my macro indicator. And so this measures the last 50 candles. It takes the high, low, close, and then square roots it, and then plots it here on this cloud. And then the actual histogram is actually 25 candles. So this helps you. So you could trade just based off of this on the bigger time frame if you like. So on the little dots, you can see the vertical dots right here are entries. So this would be a bull entry. This is bear entry. This is a bear entry right here. So if your bear entry is in this level on Tesla from Friday, this didn't indicate to actually get out of the trade until you could actually right there is where you could start taking profit, then all the way out here towards 975. So 990 to 975 is not a bad trade, bro. So that's the reason why, is because I could actually visually see both micro and macro on my set that I have here. Now I've been leaning a lot more towards this though, as of recently, is that I don't in order not to be shaken out of a trade, to just smooth it out, I'll come and I'll put on a 5 minute chart, bro, and just let it go with a 5 minute chart, and helps to smooth it out and helps me to stay in the trade, not to get shaken out. Especially before we started getting this downtrend, the tail end of this last week, we were getting a lot of chop, a lot of sideways action. So that helped me actually, stay in the trade and not get faked out or anything. So I hope that answers your question. So my favorite time frame though is the 3 minute. So I think you get that kind of right Goldilocks of the 1 minute and 5 minutes at that 3 minute. And then also 3 is a Fibonacci number. And also it works as I forgot the other number that you call it. So it works as I forget what you call it, but where it's divisible by itself. And so it would be like 3 times 3 is 9. And so that means that, so every third candle closes at the same time frame as every fourth candle. So that would be on the 12 minute, right? Or on the 12th candle in a 1 minute, if that makes sense. Yeah, dude. Everyone. I'm sure if you guys are members here, dude, I pull up with you, and you just say that you need a meeting, and we'll go over whatever you're having trouble with. And we've done that, and then someone implements what we talked about the very next day, and making $2,000 the next day, dude. As soon as they do that. So this set, bro. I'm gonna meet with you. I'm gonna give you the set here in a little bit, okay? Absolutely. Absolutely there, Armando. So actually, like, I don't remember one that was going. Oh, you know which one is actually setting up on a swing, dude, that I'm really freaking liking is Nikola. Let me take this off here real quick. I'm gonna need to go grab another tissue real quick, bro. 1 second. Once I fix this. So here on Nikola, guys, this is a pretty hot, hot ticker, recent IPO. We got, this huge play up here, and then everyone started squeezing this in. I don't know what the short float is right now, but you guys could see all this compression that's in here. You see all these red dots? This signals the compression. You could see that the support that it's building in. It's also been rising up, and yeah, it did fall a little bit down. It did retrace a little bit here on Friday. But it actually still, as long as it holds 60, I'm still liking it as long as it holds 60 right here. So at 66, 65, this is awesome. This is awesome right here. I think we get another a good squeeze out of this, at least up to 100 on Nikola. So as a swing trade, absolutely, dude. This is my setup right here with all this compression that's going on after a good push. And then once we could get this MACD start crossing up and pushing up as well, this is going to be a nice swing trade right here on Nikola, I do believe. Someone hold me to it. Someone come back on a Sunday here in a week or two, and we'll evaluate Nikola. I think on the 29th, is it tomorrow the 29th? They start taking orders tomorrow. So maybe we see it tomorrow. So maybe they release the numbers, the later end of the week of, what the pre-orders actually were. So that could be our catalyst that we're looking for there on Nikola. But absolutely, this is what I'm looking at right here on the longer term kind of swing on Nikola. Let me go grab a tissue here real quick. I'll be right back, guys. I apologize. All right. Absolutely, Sahir. So that, I mean, dude, I can imagine if they start reporting, some awesome pre-order numbers. I think they're also having like some type of like giveaway, like in like some type of promotion type thing that they're doing, like for everyone to go see the truck and stuff. So some type of pump, dude. You know what I mean? Some catalyst we could use, and this thing will explode. So I like it. Like it a lot. All right. So he said, "Hey, bro, can you create a daily alert folder in your trading room with your price alert? I think that would be awesome." So yeah, someone else has already said that, dude. They brought it to my attention that not everyone could actually see the live stream and actually watch the live stream. But they have the actual chat room up. They just can't, because of work, they can't be, have the audio and stuff on and the video on. So yes, that is on my to-do list to do after this to get that. And I will start doing like like entries and thought process into trading to go over it as well. So yes, definitely, dude. There's been a couple people that I've asked for that. So yeah, so Nikola, dude, that's what I'm looking at. The thing is a lot of people have forgotten about it. They moved on to other things, bro. Like stupid. How many people got fucking eaten up on IDX on Friday? Friday and all this last week or whatever. IDX, all these other ones, dude. Traders have the freaking attention span of a freaking minnow, bro. It's absolutely nuts. So I think it will take a lot of people by surprise. So Nio, bro. I don't know too much about it, but the whole EV category, bro, is hot, bro. Like if I could, someone asked me, maybe it was like last Sunday Stockcast or maybe during the week, if I could pick three like industries or three tickers that I would hold long term, what they would be, and one of them would definitely be EV, bro. So whether it be like what's that new one that came out? SHLL. Also Rivian, dude. I really want Rivian to IPO. Amazon has a really big stake in Rivian, so I'm really excited for Rivian to come out. I hear that like Daimler and Cummins are gonna come out with their own like big rig type EV vehicle. So yeah, it's freaking huge, dude. It's definitely gonna be the new way that everything is going. Um, so EV is definitely really big. Let's look at the Nile chart real quick though. I got people. Oh, I got. Oh, I didn't realize that Nile was doing got put up here so good here. The Now this is starting to look like a Head and Shoulders here, guys. So if we can't hold, this neckline about this 650-ish level, 665, then this is going to continue to go further down. So about at least $6, right? Um, NK. Yeah. So if we can't hold 650, 665 or so, Nio will come back down. And you can already see I've had these lines drawn here forever, since forever ago, on Nio. So I was obviously looking to trade it at some point. Um, I can't necessarily remember, but we're definitely getting this, this lower high right here. And if we can't keep on pushing, we'll get this test of 6 and see what happens then at that point. If we bounce at 6 or continue a little bit further, the thing is that if we come further than 6, there's an air pocket right here. We're gonna fill pretty fast here, probably to 450 on this on Nile. KTLV. I don't know what the. Honestly, I've been getting the bug to play these small caps again, bro, just to shut some people up. I hate these people that have their charts looking like fucking Christmas trees with 100 different executions. Like I could be successful too if I'm fucking scalping for 2 cents a trade. Like I just don't get it, dude. Um, but with my stuff, like when you see that I get in before that volume hits, and then I'm taking profit relatively high, it's sexy ass chart, bro. So yeah, KTOV still has some ways to go here. There's no sign of it slowing down as of yet, unless they have something in their filings that they're gonna dilute in some type of way. NK. What's NK, bro? Nant West. I don't know nothing about this, dude. But yeah, this area right here where it's at the 1025, 1025, $10 area, towards this fib line, you want it to hold around this line, and then continue to go further up. If we could get some compression here sideways, that would even be better. So if we could get some compression here on the TTM, and then for it to take another leg, then that would be absolutely awesome. But I don't know too much about it as far as fundamentals, anything like that at all. So yeah, let's start going into things here that I am familiar with, and into this next week. Roku, I am actually looking at this, dude. This is gonna be a really good trade if it could get going and be being bullish, bro. Um, so we got this little like this retracement sideways where you could see all this support here towards the like if I were to draw right here. right? You can see where this was support here in the past as well, and now it's trying to act as support here at this 122-ish level again. So you want it to stay right there at that area, and then if we could get some type of stay-at-home catalyst or something like that, this will definitely take off for another leg. But you have that support here. You have this cup, this cup pattern, and then you have this handle that's starting to form where you could start breaking up. You also have in a more micro, and I say micro, but this is still big time frame. I'm trying to get rid of this damn thing. So this flag, right? So flag up, and then flag, and then for it to hold, and then continue further up right here. So at least another 130 test. The thing is like I said, market depending. So if everything starts dying off tomorrow, we're gonna get another leg down here, probably to this next fib line around 112 or so, 112, 115. Apple, dude. Apple's tough, bro, because they were like they were opening stores, and then they were closing stores, and then they had the whole iOS 14 drop, and like they were releasing the news of the new stuff. Everything's going on, but it's been really freaking strong, bro. We got a little bit of a pullback here towards this 350 area. I would like it to pull back a little bit more towards 350 and hold 350, and then make a decision there. If we could get some compression sideways at 350, that'd be nice. But I think we need to test 350 here, so and for it to make a decision if we're going to bounce or continue on further, and then if we continue further, it'd be 334 would be the next level. That is good. Who's wanting to trade Tesla this week? Anyone? AMD, yeah, dude, AMD. We'll go over that here in a second. So on Tesla, this has kind of been respecting this trend line right here. So we could get another right here at this 950. It's been dipping right below, but then actually recovering off of it. But I believe we get another little dip here again, dude. 1,000 calls, dude. If you have calls in it, bro, you got to be mindful of that 1,000, bro. So you got to be mindful of that 1,000. I was making my paycheck all last week or week and a half, just getting puts or selling calls whenever it got over 1,000, because you guys could see all this resistance right here, right? I mean, anytime it pops up here in this level, it doesn't want anything to do with it. And to be honest, I think we got some time till maybe a couple weeks. We need another catalyst in order for it to break above, in order for it to keep on moving, dude. So I believe this still just kind of ranges, especially with the market depending, dude. With this just kind of ranges here. So anything up towards 990s area, freaking short the shit out of that, and then back down here to the 940s, 950s area. So obviously it's actually been tracing along with the SPY pretty well. So at the SPY and things like that start coming further down, they get with it. So yeah, I mean, if we could grab some more buyers. The thing is I've been using the black box a lot more, guys, and it's a little bit different. Getting used to a lot more. So I haven't been hearing the flow a lot more to see where the actual sentiment on it. So then a 900 test is not out of the question, and it's not totally absurd, guys, to come down here and get some more buyers and liquidity here at 900, and then it'll make that push. I do believe we will break above 1,000 and keep on going over 1,000, though. Probably, it's just a matter of time. So it's, but don't get overzealous on it where you're banking on, trying to bet on it, anticipating that move. It's not gonna work, dude. It's gonna take some work. Sorry, my phone keeps on going off, guys. Okay, so Steve wanted to go over AMD. So AMD, this chart is ugly as shit too here, Steve. To be quite honest with you, I'm pretty frustrated with AMD, bro. But we're back down here towards this, towards this support at this 48, 49 area, right? And this is where you're gonna want it to hold. So this 48.91-ish area, and then it may just keep on ranging. But again, market depending here. So if this keeps on going down, but the semis have been pretty good. AMD is the only one that's really hard one. But like if you look at like Nvidia, this has been absolutely awesome. Nvidia's over here actually just with a nice trend, keeps on moving up, putting in higher highs, and it just you could tell what the leader out of that sector actually is. So if you look at like MU as well, I don't know if you guys like trading like MU. Same thing here. So higher lows, higher highs. We're a little bit lower right here. But it actually has a trend. But you start coming over here to AMD, this is fucking ugly, bro. What the hell am I supposed to do with this shit? So unless you're just trying to trade it within this range, bro, just leave it alone until we get a breakout in either way, bro. So in either way that we get a breakout, it'll be a nice freaking move. Puts on Facebook and Twitter. So we talked a little bit about Facebook a little bit ago, bro. We're gonna get some support here in this area. So if you pull out the volume profile, there's a lot of volume done here in between this 200 and 210. So we're gonna catch some support here in this area. So we're gonna catch some support here and then see if we get a bounce. If not, then we'll go. This is your next level that we're looking at. Is towards 192. So, but 200 definitely not out the question, especially with all the revenue and the news that they're getting from the advertisers. Yeah, AMD is stupid, bro. Like honestly, in my opinion, it doesn't make sense to trade it. It's such a small price ticker, and it doesn't like the ATR on it is what, maybe $1, if not like 60 cents. It's fucking stupid, bro. There's so much better stuff that you could trade, especially if you're trading it on options that are better contract prices. You could trade the SPY and get better volatility than AMD, bro. So it's fucking stupid, dude, to be honest, in my opinion, dude. So I would say just leave it alone. My thing tinted back, bro. All right. Any last minute takers here, guys? I got a lot of work to do. Make sure you guys are leaving me likes. And if you guys could share with other people too, dude. Share with all your trader friends. Bring a friend. I wish I could find a way like to give some type of incentive to bring some other people and stuff. So yeah, but it helps out a lot with the YouTube algorithm if you like and subscribe and you leave comments and stuff as engagement. Then it shows it to other people. It starts showing it more and more people. It's called acceleration, the way that the algorithm is made. So the more people that see it within the first hour that it's posted or that you are live, the more it shows it to brand new people. So do you have Netflix, dude? Netflix is actually really good, bro. Netflix is, so I kind of turned away from playing Netflix so much because it was getting really chopped up here in this area, so it wasn't really doing anything. And then it started making moves, right? And then it started chopping around here again. And then now it's starting to do the same thing. So now it's starting to actually retrace. And it doesn't like this 460 level, bro. Like you can see right here, popped up above, and then we're back down. So the ATR on Netflix is actually turning out to be pretty nice. So yeah, we could talk about my journey here a little bit, bro. We could if you got some get yourself some popcorn and maybe a few tissues. It's a crazy story, bro. All right, so yeah, so on Netflix, bro, we had this really nice down day, and I was really mad at myself. You guys that were trading with me on Friday, You guys know that I sold my position, like accidentally. I sold Netflix instead of Amazon when I was trading it. And I was so fucking mad at myself, dude. Like, I had it absolutely nailed, and I got out of the position, and I didn't chase it or anything again. But what a freaking beauty. And, but definitely gonna need a breather probably tomorrow, dude. We'll probably get a little bit of a range day. We're getting it up here towards this support here at 438 or so, and then we'll see how it reacts then at that level. But we definitely need a breather after that action yesterday. So maybe get a little bit of a bounce here because of the volume that was done here in this level, or just kind of ranging tomorrow. So depending on the market, but a lot of business being done yesterday, dude. So 460, 468 to 442 is not anything to slouch about on a $400 ticker. So that's like I think it's like 5% or something like that, 2 or 3%. So Boeing, bro, I'm actually watching Boeing. I'm not gonna trade it, but Boeing, I wish I could. I want this to dip further, bro. So I missed my freaking chance on this down tick right here. I missed my chance to get buy Boeing, and this is something that I want to buy and hold long term. So the government is not gonna allow Boeing to fucking go under. I do not believe so. I could be absolutely wrong, but I don't believe that the government's going to allow it. So once they get their 737 things rolling, and then actual tourism and travel starts picking up, bro, dude, we get 300 tests all day, easy, bro, easy. This is life-changing money. We were talking about doing calendar spreads earlier, taking leaps. This is one I would do it on Boeing. So I don't like trading it intraday, but for a long term I do like it. And that said, like I said, I wanted to dip further. If we could get down here towards this 150, that would be absolutely awesome. But overall, this is like a huge, cupping handle pattern here so far. We kind of came down quite a bit here, and we're holding this area right here. Yeah, absolutely, dude. I like it, bro. So, they're not going to allow a foreign company to have a monopoly on the airplanes, bro. That's stupid. So yeah, so you guys can see the support that's going on right here, guys. I do believe we do break it here. At least get this 160 to 157 type of test around in this area, and then we get the bounce. So still showing a little bit of weakness there. So I'm sure they'll be releasing more money, or excuse me, more news probably this week or next week. But this has been pretty good. This is a good setup right here, guys, where you want to see this walk down a little bit further. This 150 would be optimal, and then once you could see where it touched 1, 2, almost 3, 4 times right here at this 150, and it's just a whole psychological number, right? So that's your area of interest that you want to be looking at right there. If we could get to it, and then the bounce back up. So yeah, so exactly, dude. 737 Max approved to test fly. Once we start getting more catalyst news about airlines being allowed to use it and fly it and everything, bro, this thing will rocket, bro. This thing will rocket. So if you could take September, October, November calls, I think you'd be doing pretty good. So my journey, just to wrap up the STOCKcast, guys. So if you guys have any type of tickers real quick, just to wrap up the tickers and the watch list for this week, let's do that real quick, and then I'll talk about a little bit for you guys that want to know how I got into trading and stuff. We'll go over that, and then we'll call it a day. We've been on for quite a bit today, but I appreciate it. I love it, guys. I love it. I love everyone that's stopped in. And I try to answer every single person's fucking question, dude. I will always try to answer every single fucking person's question. I know eventually we'll get to a point where it probably will not happen, but I am super adamant about people ignoring, people and not answering shit. Like, it bugs the hell out of me. Like, why are you so self-righteous that you can't answer these questions? And then, I mean, I will answer it, but if you guys don't like my answer, I apologize. Like, it's no disrespect. Like, someone asked me about that one chart, and I was like, it's an ugly chart, dude. I will still be real with you. You know what I mean? So work. Work. Dude, did you guys see Zoom? Speaking of work, this thing is actually on fire. Before we get into Zoom work real quick, I'm gonna be. I was actually talking about this with my members on Friday, where I mean, all week I was saying, please fucking dip, so I could actually get a position on Zoom, and we got the dip on Friday, and this is probably the buy the dip opportunity. Like, fucking buy this shit up here, and then it's gonna probably keep on going, dude. So this thing is nuts. So, um, all right. So work here. I really don't have an opinion on this either, dude. I don't like how small I don't like how small the price is here, especially if you're playing options. This is starting to go a little bit sideways right here in this area. Um, Zoom, dude. Yeah, Zoom, dude. Like, um, yeah, it still has a lot more to go, bro. So it's definitely still has a lot more to go. I think they're gonna start announcing a lot more partnerships with um, other companies. Like, who did they just announce that they're doing stuff with? Um, but yeah, I freaking love Zoom. It's really awesome. Anyways, but work here. I mean, we got this little dip right here, but we got this big old push up in this before, and we're kind of basing out right here, bro. Like, we're kind of not doing too much, so we could draw this support here in this area. Here's our resistance, and other than the spike, right? We're just kind of ranging in this area, so we got to make a decision if we're going to break 35 or if we're going to break 30. So same thing, this acted as resistance here in the past, a whole bunch of times. I think it's just going to range, dude. I mean, if you want to play this range from 35 to 30, by all means, be my guest. It's very safe trade to do so, if you want to do that. But I think we need a little bit more compression going sideways in order for it to make a move. And now, keep in mind, we're going to start getting into Q2 earnings here pretty soon. I think in July, right? So keep that in mind. And it looks like it had a real hard time last time for earnings. Last 2 times, actually. So keep that in mind. And that's it. We'll be done with tickers, guys. And then the only last one that I do want to call out is Spotify. This is fucking nuts too here. If you guys saw my tweet on Twitter about the market cap that I put in, so Kim Kardashian and Joe Rogan got 100 million each for their stuff that they have with Spotify. But I think so it was like the market cap that they added was like 100 and some billion or something like that. Like, talk about being a sucker, bro. So that's like us going to a job and getting paid like, $20 an hour or $15 an hour or something. You know what I mean? But we're putting in some good resistance here on Spotify right here, guys. I think we're a little bit exhausted on this. We'll get a retrace of 240. So keeping this on a watch here just as a mean reversion a little bit. See what happens as far as tomorrow. You could see that we're on Friday. So if you start looking at this on Friday, bro, it had a hard time. Like, it did not look the same as it did prior. It had a hard time up in these levels. So something to keep in mind. All right, so just so going into like my trader journey, guys, I started trading when I was I worked at T-Mobile. So I worked at T-Mobile in a call center. So here in New Mexico and Albuquerque, they give a lot of incentives and like tax incentives to companies to come here for like call centers and stuff. There's a lot of them, and so one of my friends worked at T-Mobile and they made really good money. So I asked them to go work with them. And before that, I was actually a paramedic. and I had a couple babies die on me, and I didn't want to do that anymore. We were pregnant with my son, and so I couldn't really handle it. So I wanted to get another job that still I could still have some really good benefits and make some decent money or whatever. So I went to go work at T-Mobile, and if you guys are looking for a regular day job, dude, T-Mobile is pretty freaking awesome to work at. They gave us RSUs, so restricted stock units, as incentive every quarter, and basically, based on your performance, you would get shares of stock based on your performance every quarter. So the reason they did that was because they wanted you to treat the business as you're an owner of the business, so you have vested interest into the business actually doing well, if that makes sense. And so I actually did really well working there. I always maxed out my bonus. I bonused $1,500 a month on top of my actual paycheck, and then also these other RSUs and incentives that we'd get as well. So I was like, oh, I've seen people get rich off of stocks or whatever. I could probably do this too. So when my stocks would vest with our, why do you say sorry? You got to tell me why you say sorry, bro. So when my stocks would vest, I was like, oh, I'm going to start managing my own stuff or whatever. You know what I mean? So I got a Robinhood app, a Robinhood account, and I started, I bought I can't remember all the tickers I bought. I bought like GE because during that time, they weren't doing too good, and thought they were gonna bounce back up and stuff. GE, Disney, and then some other ones. But I bought some of those, and then I just left them. I didn't trade it. I didn't intraday trade it like we do. I just left it, and I was like, they'll get value or whatever. Went back the next quarter, and I looked at what I did, and I made like $10, dude. I was like, this is going way too damn slow. How am I going to be a billionaire and rich and get Lambos and fuck bitches off this? You know what I mean? So it didn't really freaking work. Oh, losing the babies, bro. That's part of the job, man. It's part of the job. I had other people die on me and stuff too, but I think the baby thing affected me a lot more, bro. That's a whole different story I've told my room about and stuff. But that story is kind of hard on me, and I took it really personal because, like I said, my son was just born during that time, and it was pretty rough. So, anyways, so I was like, yeah, I can't get rich like this. I can't, buy Lambos and fuck bitches and stuff like this. Getting $10 a quarter, and so I started doing research. Went online and seeing how to, what stocks to actually put the money into, whatever. And I came up with a certain pump and dump trader, one of them Foss, Cameron Foss type traders, if you get what I mean. And so I was like, oh, look at this guy, he's making a bunch of money. I could do that. You know what I mean? No big deal. And so I started, following along what he was doing. I actually bought a membership and stuff to what he was doing. I started actually, if you take a look at my TD account on here, I have it taken off right here, but if you look at my older videos, there's still a negative balance on my TD account from where I blew it up. It's like $200 in the negative. I don't know how to show it right now, but I think it's this one. Just to show you, it's funny. Yeah, so negative $246.51. So the account I actually had with TD on Thinkorswim, I blew it up, and so I actually left this here as a reminder that I blew up that account, and I think it's pretty funny that it's on there. It's just ironic now, it's a nice reminder to have, and I mean, just out of principle, it's on there. I could always pay it off, whenever, but it's cool to see as a reminder there. And so I blew up that account, trying to follow his alerts, getting sold into or whatever. And then I actually found another Cameron. So another Cameron that he so I don't know if what the fucking what the what's kosher or not saying people's names and this stuff. I'm not trying to get sued. You guys know I almost got sued by Hasbro, right, for using the Monopoly Man. Fuck them. I'll never play Monopoly again, bro. Like, I can't believe they actually try to sue me, dude. Anyways, so Cameron Foose, right? So Cameron Foose was big at that time, you know, flossing out on the, you know, all these yachts in San Diego and all these, you know, all these bitches and stuff too. And I was like, I'm trying to fuck bitches too. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm trying to live that life. You know what I mean? So I was like, I'm going to follow what this dude is doing. And obviously, like, I was broke during that time, right? And so I actually pirated his fucking his course. I didn't even buy his course from him. I went on fucking eBay. So I went on eBay and there's someone selling like his course for like $35, and they just send you like a Google Drive link or something like that. And it had the whole course in there. And so I did that. Like, I started doing that and everything. And that was like the point in like the trader career where I was at, where I was getting consistent. I had a system and stuff, but then I would have that one big loss where it would just wipe you out. Right. So, that's how I was, with him. And yeah, I was never really like in the chat room with them. I just pirated that course and did my own thing or whatever. You know what I mean? And honestly, if Cameron sees this or you guys go and snitch on me, I hope you guys do, because I owe Cameron a lot, dude. He's a really smart businessman and a really great trader and a pretty awesome guy. I wish I could shake his hand and tell him thank you. And, I'll give him his $9.99 if he wants it, bro. Cause, it helped me. So, anyways, then around that time is when the whole MIC thing started up. I knew Bao and what's his name? Inefficient Market from Nico. Before he went to work at 7 Points, I vibed with them really well and stuff, and I worked with them and stuff, and and then learned what they were doing, and I started shorting small caps. And that's where I found a lot of consistency, was in shorting the small caps and doing that. I built my account over PDT to do that. And then I went from there. So I did really well. The MIC actually became a room instead of it just being the trading fish and all that. And so they, MSI I never joined MIC because I thought it was like, I don't like being a sheep or like, following the herd or the, the fad. And that was like the thing. At that time, everyone was jumping into MIC, and it was just too big. Like, you know what I mean? I didn't want to get lost in it. So I actually went the other way, and I seen, Smash the Bid. I don't know if you guys know Smash the Bid, but that was when him and J Trader were kind of like partners. And so I followed Smash the Bid. I was with him for a little bit, and then I went with J Trader, and I was one of the OG J Traders, bro. When he was making his stuff, there was only a few of us in there, and learned during this time. So mind you, during this time in my personal life, I had broken up with my son's mother, and so I was suicidal during the time. I literally pulled the trigger to the gun in my head, dude, and the only reason I didn't die, bro, is because I forgot to fucking cock the gun back, like. Or else I would not be here. Like, I forgot to cock the gun back, and or else I would have splattered my brains everywhere, bro. But luckily, I'm still here. I was suicidal because of the breakup. I was really upset about losing my family and having my son taken from me and stuff. And so during that time, I was like, well, I'll show this bitch what's up. Like, I'm gonna be rich within 2 months. Watch what I'm gonna do. You know what I mean? I'll show her. And it didn't quite go that way. So I was rebounding, with these other girls and whatever. And honestly, I locked myself in my house for a year. A year I didn't do anything. Like, all I did was stare at charts, read tape. Like, it was not healthy the way I did it. Like, it was not healthy where I was so obsessed with it that I wanted to get it and I needed to get it. That's all I did. Like, I would have dreams of, tape playing in my head, bro. Like, it was just nuts. Like, I was in a really good relationship with the girl after my son's mother. And, the only reason we broke up was because of that, dude. Like, you know what I mean? It wasn't, um, you know, I kind of pushed her to the side because trading was more important, and that was my priority. And honestly, I really wish we could work that. I could work. That's the only relationship I wish I could work out. And so then I broke up with her. We broke up. That threw me into even deeper depression, and I just started obsessing over more trading. Like, you know what I mean? And you know, I would personally talk with Jay Trader and Pedro, who's in the room, in my room now, who's a mod in my room. And they knew where I was at, and then they helped me work through it. And I was consistent as fuck, man. I was consistent as fuck in my trading. I took all of the J Trader stuff and implemented it, and got over PDT, and I was fucking living good. I was living good, and started getting out of that depression. You know what I mean? Like, started living my life a little bit, and then I started wilding out a little bit. You know, because I was making so much money and I was getting really cocky with it. And I bought a new BMW. I don't know if you guys that know me a little bit longer. I bought a new BMW, and then I bought a brand new penthouse condo here in Albuquerque. I rented it, but yeah, I got a new penthouse, and I thought I was just fucking badass, right? Like, no one could tell me anything. I was making money. Like, I felt like I was just printing money. You know what I mean? And so the thing with my split with my son's mother, like, she's very vindictive of everything. So with my trading, I made it into an LLC. I made it into a business. But I was getting fucking raped on my child support. I was having to pay like $2,000 a month on child support. On top of that, I was having to pay like $120 an hour to spend time with my son. So I was getting fucking raped with a cactus on seeing my son and the whole child support stuff. So my lawyer finally told me, he's like, hey, you know, this is what we're going to do. We're going to incorporate your business into someone else's name, and then we're going to you make it just look like you're an employee of your own business. And then you're collecting a paycheck, and you will just say that you make like $10 an hour to get your child support, you know, manageable. You know, that's actually something decent and stuff like that, because the judge fucking hated me. And, bro, I'm going to write a book one day, guys. I'm going to write a book about all this shit. And, this is why I'm humble, bro. And no one could tell me shit, bro. Like, I've been arrested, I've been shot, I've been like, dude, like, no one could tell me nothing, bro. You know, I've done time, everything, dude. So we did that, right? So I basically gave up the rights to my business and my trading and gave it to my mom. So my mom had, you know, like the whatever. And I've never been really organized as a person, and my mom was really good about it. And I had some debt from when I was younger or whatever that I wanted to pay off, and so I basically gave her the whole money management of my business. So she was telling me that at one point she was like, "Hey, I want to pay off some other stuff. Like, you know, I'm going to take some of this money and put it here, whatever, and you know, we're going to pay it down." I'm like, "Cool, you know, do your thing. You know how to do it, whatever." And that was at the beginning of last year. So the beginning of like January of last year. Then what I did, so then I started realizing that, like, when I was looking at my credit report and stuff, like, I had the Experian thing where, like, it keeps track of all your shit. I was noticing that my balances weren't going down and stuff, right? So, like, I was noticing that, you know, stuff wasn't being paid down, and, you know, the stuff that she was saying, I was like, well, what the hell's the deal? So I started putting some money to the side for me, and then, and, you know, this is my mom, you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to call her and be like, hey, are you taking my money? What the fuck? Like, you know what I mean? And so, eventually it got to that, like, you know, I let a few months go by to see, like, okay, like, it should have definitely been some type of impact at this point, you know what I mean? And, I called her out on it, and then, she blew up. So she blew up, and we had a fight for like about a week. We had a fight for about a week on everything. And then eventually she said if I was going to accuse her of taking the money, that none of us were going to have the money, that she was just going to take the money and put it in a trust for my son. So that was the last thought we talked. And then I woke up one morning, and I don't know if anyone's an OG in here from my room, or friends with me before I started my room, but I woke up to trade, and then I couldn't log into my account. And so I called the broker, and they're like, yo, your account was liquidated. I can't believe, you know, that, so the way that it looked, since the account was under the business, it looked like I was trading someone else's money, dude. And so it looked really bad on the broker because that they could get caught up on that shit really bad, right? And so they let me have it, gave me a big ass tongue lashing about it and everything, and so they said your account's been liquidated. We close out your account. We can't give you anything about it. We already know what's going on. So I had no trading account. There was enough money in that trading account to buy a pretty decent house cash here in Albuquerque. So maybe not California, but here in Albuquerque, yeah. So so I mean, I went to go look at like all my other accounts. There was all that money had been taken out and stuff, and luckily I put some money to the side where that when I started realizing everything, and that's how I actually funded the account that I have now. So the account that I have now, I had some money on the side, and then everything was in my business name because since I'm a felon, right? Since I did time and stuff, I couldn't rent or buy anything. It's really hard for me to do it with that stuff on my record. So a big plus of having everything under the business was that it'd just be under the business name, and then it didn't have to go through my stuff, and I would get approved for whatever I needed. And so, but the thing was is that my mom owned the business. So then in actuality, she owned my BMW, she owned my condo, and all that. So all that got taken away. So she took it all away. Went and picked up the car. I remember I walked out one day. I was on a date, and then they had the car on a tow truck, and they had the car on the tow truck, and then the guy with the condo, they had actually sold the condo like from the time that I moved in to that time, and so he didn't even really like me anyways. And so I was like, well, just I had actually paid for my whole lease up front. And so I paid for my whole lease up front in order to get a better rate, and also to get around, the whole felon thing in the background check. So just as a form of, form of confidence and good faith, I paid them all up front. And so I told them, I was like, hey, I'll go ahead and just leave. You could rent it out. Just give me back the rest of my money that I gave you. And so he said, he called it cool. He gave me back the rest of my money, put a little bit more money back in my pocket, right? So I took that. So I'm from California. I'm sure you guys hear me talk about, I'm from California. I took off to California to visit family and just partied my ass off for like a week, just trying to forget everything that happened. And I went, I just left everything, like, you know what I mean? And, had to come back and face the music. And, Pedro, who's in my room, Pedro, Tang, we were like in a little private room where they had asked me to teach my long strategy to a few friends because they were getting tired of squeezed on the small caps. So they called me in to help them out. And so I was like, talking with them what I should do. And they're like, well, you helped us a lot, teaching us what we know. Like, you know what I mean? You should start your own room. And I was like, I don't think I have any type of precedence or anything. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't have no room to be doing that. And they're like, well, why are you waiting for someone to give you permission or give you a blessing? They're like, you think anyone else asked for a permission or blessing to start their own thing? And I was like, well, shit, like, you know what I mean? So I started my room. So I started my New Age Wall Street. April 29th, 2019 is the day that it started, and then it stayed up weeks. I learned Photoshop. I learned everything. I made everything all on my own. The very first day, some people already knew me from the J Trader room, and once I put out there that I was starting my own room, they're like, fuck yeah, like, we're with you, we're gonna join. And there was 4 of us. It was me, Pedro, Alberto, who's still in the room, and AMG is in and out still. And then there's one other guy that came like a week later. His name is Brian. And I don't think he trades anymore. He has like some personal stuff going on. But I came in just talking to the room like if there was 1,000 people in there, bro. It was really freaking awkward, and it's been definitely a ride. And then so during that time, right, because of my record and stuff, and I didn't really have too much money, I needed to concentrate on trading. I funded another account. I was homeless, so I was homeless during that time. And that's the part that you see. So that was, so I was homeless, and that's what you guys see on YouTube when I was homeless last year. That's the point that you guys see on YouTube in the videos. And I had a friend that I was actually, when I was living in the condo, he would come every morning like at 6 a.m. and he would trade right alongside of me. Like, and I don't know if you guys seen, we used to do Instagram lives every morning too. And so my understanding was, is like, hey, come live with me and teach me how to trade. And then, you could, until you get back on your feet. And while I was there with it, like, I was just sleeping on his couch, like straight up sleeping on his couch. I put my trade station in his son's room, and it just ended up being like a bad situation where like his son was there, and his son felt like I was invading his space because I was in his room. And like our schedules were so different, and he wanted to be a part of the room, like where to be part owner or just collaborator with it, and he was lazy with it, and just didn't follow through. Like, he was in charge of the social media stuff, and I bought like all kinds of software to help him and make it really simple, and he would just not do it. So there's like a huge divide for us, even though we were friends. And I'm really thankful that he let me stay there, but it was just an awful living situation where I would be sleeping on the couch like at 11 o'clock at night, and he would get home and from the gym at like 1 a.m. and then turn up the music and start cooking really loud. And there's times I just slept under my desk, like, you know what I mean? And there's times where I just went to like it's like a townhouse, right? Like a little thing of townhouses. I would just go sleep outside. Like, I'll go sleep outside in the damn, dude, I want to cry. Like, I've never really like talked about this like this to realize how far I came from it. So I go sleep like in there's like a playground like with grass and stuff, and I go just sleep in the grass because it was actually fucking quiet, like, you know what I mean? And so eventually during this whole time I offered to, I was getting like food stamps and, public assistance and stuff. So that's how I try to contribute. And then I got a little bit of money, like, you know what I mean, from the room and, whatever. And I was like, hey, let me take care of like a utility bill or, whatever. And he never really did. Like, he never really like took me up on it. And then finally, like, he like towards the end, he's like, well, you owe me this much money. And I'm like, well, I've been telling you, like, I would pay it. And now you're asking me for all this money up front. And it just wasn't like, it just wasn't cool. Like, it, where he had originally said I could stay there as long as I teach him how to trade. And I just didn't let him play me like a bitch like that. And I left. So I left. I had barely bought in a new car. So I barely, like, this whole time I didn't have a car either. So mind you, because they took the BMW, right? So I have the little car that I have now. It's a Lexus IS300. And it's an old ass car. And I barely just got in a car, and I was going to church every Sunday. I was at church. I had my butt in the seat at church. And then I left. Like, I didn't have nowhere to go. Like, I didn't know, I just knew that I wasn't going to be played like a bitch like that. And I left, and I didn't know what I was going to do or anything. And I slept in my car for like a couple weeks, and I just prayed. I just prayed a lot. And then I would sleep at night in the parking lot of my church. And so where my church is, there's the church, and then there's like the Rio Grande is right behind it. And so there's like a lot of trees and like wild area right there. So that's the back of it. So there wasn't really anyone back there, but there used to be like a volunteer for the church, I'm guessing, where they would just go check up on the church at night or whatever. And he would bring me like food and, check on me and stuff, dude. And, dude, it's, bro, like, I can't even, and I would be so scared that he's going to kick me out of there. Like, you know what I mean? That I couldn't sleep there because I didn't know where else I was going to go. Like, you know what I mean? And so, part of it was, right. So like, I had made some money from my trading. I got over PDT and everything. And, no, I don't talk to my mom at all anymore, dude. I don't talk to, I'm solely by myself doing everything. So, so part of it is that like from my trading and stuff, I had to wire out the money, and it had to take, it took a little bit longer for me to wire out the money. And then like I had fucked up because like my account, something happened where like I switched my account, and it got held up, and that's why like I was like that for so long. So eventually when I got my money, like I was able to get like an Airbnb for a while, and then I was able to get an Airbnb for a while, and then I got a hotel, and then I finally got the apartment that I have right here. And dude, I can't, like, I owe everything to the ladies that live up here and that work at the office in the apartment. They pretty much forced through like my background check and gave me a place like quick. I had the money from trading. I paid them the deposit, everything up front, and I moved into this apartment with nothing, like nothing, dude. Like I remember I had a duffel bag full of clothes, and I was just sleeping in the living room, using that duffel bag as a pillow for weeks. Like that's how I lived, and I was so glad though that I didn't have to be out there in the cold, like, and the cold fucking this was like in November, and freezing my ass off, and now like we're here, bro. Like, so how did I lose that much? What do you mean? How did I lose that much? Yeah, the trading room is the main chat room, bro. So, dude, I'm super humble and everything, bro. Like, the especially as of lately, the room has been doing really well. I'm super humble that even one of you guys takes value in what I have to say. And then for you, it still freaks me out to like when I Zoom people and stuff. When I Zoom people and like I see my set of things that I coded on someone else's computer. Like when I went to California for Memorial Day and I walked in on their setup and all my stuff is on there. The other day, like when I rebranded everything for the room, to see people's wallpapers as New Age Wall Street, bro. It blows my mind, bro, and it's super humbling, man. Like honestly, up until this point, like I've been so busy like to reflect on it and all, but I'm super thankful, bro. Like I'm really trying to hold back tears right now, dude, because Charlie's my boy in here, and he's seen everything, dude. And I don't recently I've been sleeping a little bit more, but there was days like for the room stuff where I wanted to get stuff done, and I would only sleep 3 hours a night or whatever. But that's where I am now, dude. Like I built my account. My goal for this year is for the big 7 figures for this year, and I'm definitely on my way to that this year, bro. So I'm trying to be really super, like I have like a big phobia and fear that I'm gonna lose everything again, and so I'm trying to play everything super smart, super small. I've had a few trolls and a few people say like, oh, if you make so much money, why you live in that fucking stupid ass apartment? Well, first of all, I have a fucking lease on this place. Like I can't just up and leave. Like I could break it, right? But when I give someone my word, dude, like that's my biggest thing, is like I'm pretty old school in that. And I gave those ladies in the front that I would stay here for the year and that they would get that money off of me for the year and everything. So I'm gonna stick it out here till my lease is up in November, and then I'm moving up, dude. I've shared my plans to my room on what I want to do. It's looking like Texas is the move, and it's only gonna get bigger and better. Thank you, Jim. Everyone that stayed through that whole long ass fucking long-winded story. That was like a good 30-minute story, bro. If you guys need me to tuck you into, we could do that, bro. Yeah, dude. So like when I talk my shit, bro, like I know that I got, like, you get to a point where you've been through everything and I know I got me, where I've done it so many times, like you could take it all the way again and I know I'll be able to do it again. Like that's not on being on cocky, bro. Yeah, so that's my biggest thing. So my biggest thing with the room is not for it to just be a room, right? My biggest thing is for to help people like in my situation, that to give opportunities. I have a lot of like minority people in my room, and we don't get the same opportunities. My family never talked to me about finance and managing your money well, when I was young. So My biggest thing with it is that your wife will tuck you in good, bro. I'm sure she's a lot cuter too. Um, so yeah, my big thing is I want to have minorities and give people opportunities that don't get normal opportunities, like going to college, things like this, because the market is a great equalizer. As long as you have money, doesn't care where you came from, the color of your skin, or anything like that. And eventually, I want to branch out into financial advisement as well for minorities, because especially being Hispanic and Mexican, there's a lot of families that get taken advantage of in that type of situation, where you get into some fucking stupid adjustable rate mortgage, or all kinds of stupid stuff, Herbalife, fucking stupid shit with your money, bro. And I want to be able to better advise minorities and be able to give them back, and even young people, so as well. Oh, dude, we'd love to have you, Casey. Love to have you. I do. I'm doing 150 bucks right now for the year, bro. So if you don't get $150 worth of value, bro, let me know. 150 bucks, bro. I could give you 150 bucks back. So, um, but I appreciate you guys. It means a lot that you guys stuck through, through the whole story and everything. But like I said, I have a lot of work to do. Um, dude. Are you signed up with the uh like a Discord that you already have? No, dude, it shouldn't be giving you an issue, bro. Let me see real quick. Um, Shoot me your email, Armando, to and then I'll send you an invoice right now once I get off. Okay, dude. I appreciate the effort that you're putting in to sign up, bro. Yeah, exactly. Use that email that you used for that other Discord, bro. Exactly, dude. That's the cool thing about Launch Pass, is that it automatically gets you into the room, dude. So all that little stuff, dude, that automates for me, bro, it's a lifesaver, bro. So um, everyone else, gonna go ahead and log off. You guys have a great night. I hope everyone has a profitable week this week. Keep me updated on your trading. If you guys want to, I answer all my Twitter DMs as well, guys. If you guys want to follow me on Twitter, I will get back to you. If you want to DM me, dude. Like I said, I'm here to provide value. So try to give as much as I could. So if you guys want to just DM me on what's going on for with your trading, I try to help out as much as I could. All right. But other than that, you guys, make sure you guys are mitigating your risk. Make sure you're always taking profit for you guys, and stay money biased, guys. You guys have a profitable week. Okay.